This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana. Thousands of educators will converge at the State House this week. This morning, only RTV6 is talking to the head of the teachers union about the issues most pressing for educators.
More violence in the Circle City leaves 3 people dead in just a few hours. Working for you, we're looking at the challenges facing police when it comes to making homicide arrests in Indianapolis.
Winter is officially a few weeks away, but we've already seen our first flakes of the season. This morning, only RTV6 is giving you a first-hand look at the equipment, making it possible for you to escape the sunshine.
Dollar stores are an easy way to save a few bucks, but before you go crossing off your shopping list at the discount store, we have an important warning so you don't waste your money.
Organ donors give the ultimate gift. New this morning, we're taking a look at a unique camp supporting children as they grieve.
And it is Monday, November the 18th, here 6 o'clock on our Monday. We want to thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Casey.
A new week. Rafael Sanchez, our friend Meredith Barrick will be back tomorrow. Our good friend Todd Clausen is always here. And today, the forecast.
Yeah, you know, it's not a bad forecast. The thing that we're going to lack today is a lot in the way of sunshine. Okay. So it's going to feel probably a little worse than it's going to be, but we're not expecting much in the way of any precipitation. If you're going to see anything, it's going to be this morning in the form of a spot sprinkle. Otherwise, just lots of clouds around here and temperatures that range this morning anywhere from 25 degrees where the skies are clear to 35 degrees where the clouds have filled in. But it is just a one little pocket here where the skies are a little bit clearer. But you do notice a few of these sprinkles starting to develop from just north of downtown up into portions of Boone in Clinton County as you work your way from Zionsville up into the Frankfort area. That's not going to cause any issues on the roadway, so you don't really have to worry about it this morning. Just don't be shocked if you see a flake or two or a raindrop this morning. Otherwise, the clouds firmly in place here throughout the course of the morning and into the afternoon. So let's get you out the door on this Monday morning. Temperature at 8 a.m. right around 35 degrees. By the time we get to the noon hour, still mostly cloudy with a temperature of 41. We do have warmer temperatures in our forecast finally across the area. More on that coming up in just a little bit. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. This is I-70 over near the West Airport ramps. You can see traffic here is traveling smoothly. So if you're starting off your Monday and your work week catching a flight early this morning, you shouldn't have any problems getting to the airport. Let's take a look right now at our Traffic Now map. Planning out your drive here as you're traveling southbound on I-69 through Hamilton County. No delays from State Road 13 down to the I-465 ramps. It is a 13-minute commute, so we'll continue to keep a close eye on those roads all around the metro area in central Indiana, and we'll keep you updated on any delays.
The time now is 6:03, and new and only on RTV6, the leader of the state's teachers union is preparing for possibly one of the biggest demonstrations in decades at the Capitol. Joining us live this morning is Keith Gamble, president of the Indiana State Teachers Association. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
What made this a tipping point? Why are we expecting thousands of teachers on the south side of the Capitol tomorrow?
You know, I have a colleague on the north side of Indianapolis. His 4th grade daughter is on her 4th teacher this year, and we're not even to the end of the first semester. And this is too often an occurrence that is happening across the state. Teachers are seeing students get left behind, and we believe that we have called our legislators, we've written postcards, we've sent our emails, and the message just still isn't getting through. And so we've got a day of action planned for tomorrow.
Some of the big issues that you are looking at, the 3 top issues, teacher pay among them, plus the opposition to the use of iLearn to evaluate teachers and schools. There's also a push to repeal the externships requirement, which requires teachers to do 15 hours of outside classroom work. What is that about? Is that even clear to you? What does that mean?
We believe that it's a solution in search of a problem. And the 90 hours that are for teachers to get their license renewed, we believe should be based on their practice and their work in the classroom and not a distraction outside.
And there is some criticism that teachers will not be in the classroom tomorrow. More than 133 districts are closing. How do you respond to taxpayers who say teachers should be in class tomorrow?
Our teachers have personal days, which are part of their collectively bargained contract, and many of them begin to make use of those, and so many, in fact, that school districts believe that in the best interest of the students that they were closed that day. And so students will either be using an e-learning day, or in some cases they'll be making the day up just as if we had had a snow day.
What do you want the impact of this to be? Obviously, legislators return for Organization Day tomorrow, but what do you want to be sort of the effect of this?
We want to make sure that our lawmakers know and understand how important this problem is to us. That the over 1 million students that are in our public schools in Indiana deserve the absolute very best education, and that's what we're working for.
There's a gubernatorial race next year. The governor already is putting out an extensive record of achievement when it comes to education. Will this be a major issue coming in 2020? Will we see a lot of red in 2020?
We are hoping to make public education the #1 issue in the 2020 elections.
Sure, thank you so much, Keith Gamble.
Thank you very much.
The President, thank you so much. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Lauren?
We are following more news. The governor says his office is seeking to ensure Indiana attracts and retains the top teachers. The office points to the governor's record. Governor Holcomb launched a commission this year to make recommendations on teacher pay in 2020. He used $150 million in state reserves to pay off pension liability that schools fund, which is helping with teacher salaries. He also signed a 2-year budget, which included $763 million in total for new money for K-12 education. Plus, the governor is also opposed to using the results from the new iLearn test to be used to evaluate teachers or determine school grades. Here at 6:06, want to get to some breaking news. Metro Police are investigating a deadly shooting on Sunday that happened right here in the Circle City. This morning, 3 people are the latest victims of ongoing violence. The latest shots ringing out just before midnight near East Market Street and South Sherman Drive. Just a few hours earlier, gunfire killing a man on the city's far west side near 10th and Country Club Road. And hours before that, a man killed by gunfire near 38th and Guyan Road. As the homicide rate grows here in Indianapolis, these cases remain difficult to solve. Our own Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning. And Alyssa, you have an update on how many arrests IMPD has made for these homicide cases. Break down those numbers for us.
That's right, Lauren. So since the beginning of the year, IMPD has made arrests in just about 30% of their criminal homicide cases. Now, an IMPD report released last week details 143 homicides so far this year. Last year, there were 159 total in the year. 15 cases in 2019 were cleared as self-defense. And as of this morning, the IMPD report says that there has been 38 cases this year, and that's an arrest rate of 29.9%. And of course, we know from talking to police in the past that one of the most helpful tools they have when it comes to making arrests in these criminal homicide cases is help from the community. So if you have any details on some of the shootings that happened over the weekend, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
At 6:08 and new this morning on Good Morning Indiana, the Indiana Donor Network is announcing a new week-long camp for children of donor families.
This is a way to support children as they experience grief for a loss of a loved one who died and then became a donor hero. So our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning from Jameson Camp. Good morning, Kelsey. Tell us a little bit more about this program.
Good morning. Yeah, so this camp is going to take place here at Jameson Camp, and it's going to start in June of 2020. And again, like you said, it's the first of its kind here in Indianapolis. So I'm here this morning with Kelly Hanner. I just forgot your last name. And so tell me a little bit about this camp.
Well, we created the camp to provide support to children who are grieving the loss of their loved one who became a donor hero. And we felt that there was a need for kids who are often the forgotten mourner in the process.
Mm-hmm. And so you guys are working to make sure or hope that this camp can be free for those kids.
Right. And so it's a great way for the community to get involved. We do want to be able to provide the camp as, at a little cost as possible. So if you would like to contribute, you can go to our website at indianadonornetwork.org indianapolis.org/angel fund to make a contribution.
Okay, and of course, there's going to be some grieving, some therapy and stuff like that, but there's also going to be fun here at this camp.
Right. They have all sorts of great activities at Jamison Camp, from, basketball to archery to rope climbing, swimming, all sorts of things like that. So the kids will be able to be with other children who have, going through similar life experiences.
Mm-hmm. And so what brought this camp here to Indianapolis? What made you guys decide to start it here?
Well, Jamison Camp does this every day for, children, so they were just a perfect partner for us.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we'll have more here at Jamison Camp coming up in the next half hour. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you so much. Ice and snow already making an appearance in central Indiana. Remember last Monday? And the calendar still says fall. Coming up at 6:14, I'm giving you an inside look at the equipment making it possible for you to fly out of Indianapolis and escape old man winter.
And Raphael, in the Hoosier State, it is a tradition that legendary winners drink milk, right? Well, coming up at 6:18 in Hiring Hoosiers, we're heading up to a dairy farm to take a look at a dirty job that's in demand. Todd.
And as you walk out the door here this morning, you're walking out to quite a bit in the way of cloud cover across central Indiana, and temperatures that are hovering in the 20s and 30s. There could be a spot sprinkle, but for the most part, it's a quiet morning. You notice where it's near 40 already by 10 a.m. We'll continue to warm from that point. We'll talk all about it in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 6:10. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV 6.
Welcome back. We saw our first big snowfall of the season just last Monday.
Yeah, and despite our graphic behind us, do not be alarmed. It's not snowing this morning, but wintry weather has arrived with a full fury, challenging people to clear those roads and the runways.
Airfield 1. Okay, I'm not by 3836.
These are the crews that clear the runways of ice and snow to keep aircraft arrivals and departures on the move.
That help us keep the airport open on a daily basis.
Lead plow, Airfield 1, whenever you are, we'll follow you.
RTV6 was on runway 23 right, which is 11,200 feet long. It is the longest of the three at Indianapolis International.
Practicing the plan so when we actually have snow, that muscle memory kicks in and we keep the airport open safely.
Federal regulators require a one-time annual snow removal training session. The airport has 11 machines known as the MB5. It's a combo plow, broom, and blower. The machines can help the team clear a runway in about 30 minutes.
It's not uncommon. We've been out here in a snow fight for up to 2 days. It just depends on the weather and what we get.
With Indianapolis getting an average of 25 inches of snow a year, this team lives with the threat of being called into work between now and March the 31st. That means Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's could be spent on the runways. So these winter warriors, they're ready to roll anytime the flurries fly.
Going to the barn. Roger that.
Roger that indeed. Indy's snow operations team there at the airport does not apply salt on the runways. There are some federally approved chemicals that can be used during severe weather to make sure that your flight leaves on time. And by the way, that MB5, that big machine that was the blower and the plow, only $800,000. So,
no big deal.
You know,
you
if
get
Todd,
it for your driveway.
If Todd, you want to chip in and help us out, we could just use it on these snow days.
Right?
Hey.
Yeah. Hopefully no snow this Monday, right, Todd?
No snow this Monday. You're good. You're good in that department. They will not be called into work here this morning or this week. So that is good news. In fact, we finally have a warming trend to talk about. Now, this morning, there are a few light rain showers out there and maybe a snowflake, but nothing that's going to accumulate. But as you look here from downtown to the north, you can kind of see what looks like haze. It's actually some moisture that we have in the atmosphere here. And as a result, when you walk out the door, there's kind of that little damp feeling that's going on across the area, but we're not expecting any substantial precipitation here throughout the day today. 35 in Indy, near 40 in Bloomington. Huntington this morning. A little colder to the north where the clouds broke apart briefly here this morning. That's why your temperatures are in the 20s as Muncie as well as Kokomo. And you can see that little pocket of clearer skies. But we also have some precipitation out there. And you can see some light rain showers from Frankfurt down into the Zionsville area, Lebanon as well. Mixing with maybe a few snowflakes or a sleet pellet or two as this makes its way through. But most of us are just dealing with cloudy skies across the area. And as we expand out, this overall weather pattern is pretty unsettled. We have this little wave of moisture that's moving through currently. Then we just have the clouds. And then by tomorrow morning, this wave of moisture is going to be heading in our direction as well. So as you work your way throughout the day today, it's not the brightest day for us, but it's not a washout of a day. In fact, once we get past this morning, there's probably not much of anything in the way of precipitation in the forecast. With a temperature today that's going to be getting up to right around 42 degrees. Still well below normal, but pretty quiet heading into the evening as we fall into the 30s. And then throughout the evening hours, just lots of clouds around. Temperatures that will be right around 36 degrees by 11 p.m. You wake up tomorrow morning to temperatures that are at or just above freezing, which will be key because tomorrow morning there's a little better chance of some light rain showers and maybe a wintry mix impacting your morning drive. And the timing is going to be key. If this arrives a little quicker and the sun is still down tomorrow morning and temperatures are a little bit cooler, it could start off as a little bit of a wintry mix. If it comes in after the sun comes up, which is right around 7:30, the temperatures will easily be warm enough that this is just going to be all rain showers. But it's with us off and on throughout the course of the morning tomorrow, so it gets off to a little bit of a wet start on Tuesday, and then we'll just deal with clouds throughout Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow eventually climb up into the mid-40s. But here is the good news. It arrives midweek. Wednesday's the best weather day of the week with a high temperature of 54 degrees and sunshine. It's a little warmer on Thursday, but Thursday's the best chance of precipitation this week. But with a high of 60 degrees, it would be all rain showers, and then cooler as we head into the weekend with temperatures that will be in the 40s. Lauren?
All right, Todd, and we have live drive out on the roads on the east side right now. And you can see the windshield wipers going a little bit, just a few sprinkles on the windshield this morning. Right now, Shea Goodpaster is in the driver's seat, and this is a dash cam view of I-70 traveling eastbound, hopping on I-465 south. You can see the ramp system here. Everything is moving along up to speed. No delays on the east side to slow you down. So let's take a look at our traffic now map at this hour. Again, you saw up here in Hamilton County, no issues heading southbound on I-69. So taking you down to the south side at this hour, traveling northbound on State Road 37, an 8-minute drive from Smith Valley Road in Greenwood to the I-465 ramps. Across Johnson County, a 10-minute commute if you're taking I-65. Starting up here at Southport Road, heading to I-70 at the North Split. Traffic there is traveling up to speed.
At 6:19, hiring Hoosiers is connecting you to jobs in high demand, regardless of how dirty they might be.
Yeah, the dairy industry is a workforce in transition as there are fewer farms but more cows on them.
Our Amanda Starantino takes us to a Fort Wayne dairy farm where this family farm says help is wanted now.
It is a staple in most diets. Milk, a powerhouse of nutrition with more than 9 essential vitamins and nutrients. Dairy is a part of everyday consumption. To get it to our tables, though, takes work, and it gets messy.
It gets very dirty at times, but we always try to keep everything as clean as we can, but sometimes you just can't help getting all dirty like I am right now.
Andrew Cunard is a 5th-generation dairy farmer at his family-owned Cunard Dairy Farm in Fort Wayne. These cows are part of his family, too.
Every single one's got their own personality.
While being around the animals all day can be fun, it's a job that comes with hard work.
Chores will start milking about 5:30 in the morning, and then we get done probably not till late 9 o'clock at night. Just depends on when we can get stuff done. So it turns into long days and long hours, but we got to truly enjoy what we do.
In Indiana, Hoosier farmers produce around 4 billion pounds of dairy per year, ranking the state 15th in production in the U.S.
Every other day we go through about 6,000 gallons of milk is what we produce. So we get that shipped to Prairie Farms, and they take that and get to that grocery store right away.
Each cow here at the Cunard Dairy Farm produces on average 10 gallons of milk a day. which does not need to be done by hand any longer. Instead, the cows line up several times a day to get milked by this machine.
With this, it's nice. They can come in and get milked. And the cleaning process is the same. The hookup process is the same every single time. And it's pretty neat that the cows want to come in. So the cows tell us what they want, and they keep telling us they want to get milked.
Although labor does not include hand milking anymore, there is still a lot of work to be done across the farm.
We're pretty much everything around here. Plumbers, electricians, construction, our own bosses, CEOs, and we have to do all that on the dairy farm.
Well-rounded experts in everything that pertains to the farm. According to the American Dairy Association of Indiana, one of the largest problems facing the industry is finding labor that is prepared for work. But the jobs, they are still there. Even though there are fewer farms, there are still just as many cows.
It's hard to find extra labor, and that's partly why we have so many family members that work here, is just the fact that we can do all the work with it, and that way we can take care of the animals.
For Andrew, the long days are worth it, and he hopes others can step up to fill the shoes of the very much needed dairy farmers.
Even though the job gets a little dirty at times, the milk comes out as clean as a whistle. Remember, winners drink milk. Cheers.
Cheers.
We have so many winners in Indiana. That was Amanda Starantino reporting. To learn more about the changing dairy farm industry and available jobs, go to our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
Well, we often rush to dollar stores to maybe save a few bucks when we need just a few things, including snacks. So coming up at 6:26, what you should be watching for when you buy food at the dollar stores so you don't waste your money. Welcome back. It is 6:25 on our Monday. We want to get you caught up on everything that's going on out there before you head to work. So here is our trending at 6.
So here's a final wish for a Missouri boy answered by thousands of people from across the country. You see, Alec Ingram had been fighting osteosarcoma since 2015. He passed away last week. Alec's final wish was to have sports cars lead him to his final resting place. More than 2,100 cars from all 50 states participated in this procession, all led by a Camaro limo. That's
Very
an
cool.
awesome sight. I'm sure his parents appreciated that.
Oh, yeah. Well, a child prodigy from Belgium is on course to gain a bachelor's degree at 9 years old.
Why not?
Laurent Simons, is studying electrical engineering, so that's a tough course even for a student of an average graduate age. Simons plans to embark on a PhD program in electrical engineering while also just studying for a medical degree when he graduates in December.
Purdue on line 1, Purdue on line 1 for that young man. They'll take you. And some kids in Wisconsin putting their building skills to work to come up with something really just spectacular. I can't even do this with help. They built a 40-foot city out of Legos, which even includes miniature versions of Cinderella's castle and the Taj Mahal. The brick city is on display at the Buffalo Phil's restaurant in Wisconsin Dells. The restaurant's owner says they aren't done yet. An airport could be the next effort. Oh my goodness. I can't even build like a house with my Lego set, let alone a spectacular
I don't know how
city.
people do that.
Yeah,
that
amazing.
is incredible.
Wow. Okay.
All right. What can we expect in the forecast today, Tom?
Lots of clouds. Not the brightest day for us, but no snow.
Okay.
That is
We'll take
good
it.
news compared to last Monday when we were talking about it. So it's not the brightest day for us here. It's not going to be a day where temperatures are going to warm a whole lot. And overall, we're going to have temperatures still below normal. So we go from about 32 degrees at 8 a.m. to 40 degrees by the noon hour. Then high temperatures later on this afternoon will be topping off in the low to mid 40s, depending where you are. A little warmer off towards the east, around 45 in Muncie as well as Richmond, 42 in Indianapolis. Tomorrow morning, though, we will have some rain showers moving through, maybe mixing with a few snowflakes. We'll talk more about that forecast for you coming up in just a little bit.
Todd, thank you so much. Let's talk about your money. If you ever shop at dollar stores, we have a key consumer warning for you. Dollar stores have great prices, right, on a lot of items, including food.
But working for you, John Matarese does have a warning for all of us about some of the food so you don't waste your money.
Dollar stores can be great places to buy kitchen supplies, party toys, laundry detergent, and so much more, all at deep discount prices. But one mom is now raising concerns about some of the food her daughter bought there. Shaquana Hines is very careful with food expiration dates.
Like, I go through my refrigerators checking dates.
So she was furious when her daughter bought and then ate a bag of trail mix with a best by date almost 6 months ago.
She actually went and bought some trail mix, and when she opened them, she realized that they were stale. They tasted weird.
Shaquana's receipt shows the expired trail mix came from a nearby dollar store. And this isn't the first complaint we've heard about people buying expired items at their dollar store. Back in February, I spoke with a gentleman who bought a pizza, a really old pizza, at his local dollar store.
I had to do the math in my head because it's like, wait a minute, now this is 19, so this has got to be from a couple years ago.
Chris Wilson's frozen pizza had a use-by date of December 2017. So we checked his dollar store and found several expired boxes of Jiffy Mix muffin mix. We did not find any other expired items at Shaquana's store this time. But Dollar General and Dollar Tree just paid a $1.2 million fine to the state of New York in August for selling expired over-the-counter drugs. And while Reader's Digest says dollar stores offer great deals, it says check expiration dates of all their food carefully.
Stores are supposed to rotate out or check their shelves and get rid of those stuff, not keep it.
Remember, you will find great deals at dollar stores, but check those dates on foods. You stay safe. You don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Monday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Breaking news overnight, police are investigating a shooting death of a man on the east side of downtown. Police say the victim was found inside of a vehicle just before midnight on East Market Street near New York and Sherman Drive. We'll have a live report on what was a violent weekend in parts of the city in 2 minutes right here on Good Morning Indiana.
From Hamilton County, the loss of Fisher's Canine Officer Harley in the line of duty has been a painful loss. Now police are warning of scammers trying to take advantage of people's grief. They say if someone comes to your door or calls you out of the blue, be cautious. The department says it will only take donations through its website, no phone calls, and no door-to-door visits.
For the second time in the past week, a poll shows South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg as the Democratic presidential frontrunner in Iowa. The poll shows Buttigieg with the support of 25% of likely voters in the Iowa caucus. There's a close three-way battle for second. Senator Elizabeth Warren is at 16%, Joe Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders each at 15%.
Later today, a U.S. Navy warship will be named in honor of late Indiana Senator Richard Lugar. The Navy Secretary and members of the Lugar family will attend a private naming ceremony at the Indiana War Memorial. As you may recall, Lugar died in April at the age of 87. He volunteered for the Navy and served his country as an officer from 1957 through 1960.
And a vote later today could pave the way for hundreds of new jobs in Franklin. We told you last week that battery company Energizer wants to open a distribution center near State Road 44 and I-65, and that could create more than 400 new jobs. The Franklin City Council meets tonight to vote on approving a tax break that would allow this plan to move forward. But here at 6:31, we do want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana, Monday, November the 18th. I'm Lauren Casey.
I'm Rafael Sanchez. Our friend Meredith Barrick will be back tomorrow. Our best friend ever, Todd Clausen, has a great forecast today because it's not minus something.
Right? You know, last week it was hard even to talk about accumulating snow, single-digit temperatures, none of that in the forecast here this morning. In fact, by the time we get to the middle of the week, I think we really have a forecast you are going to enjoy. More on that coming up in Maine weather. Let's get you out the door first here this morning as we start off the new work week across the area. Bloomington, that courthouse, the day after Thanksgiving, always a great event there when they light up the square. What do you need to grab before you go here this morning? Well, just the medium jacket. There are a few showers out there. I didn't check the umbrella because they're not going to last very long and they're very, very spotty here this morning. But if you live in the metro area and up I-65 into portions of Boone County, Frankfort, there is a little bit of precipitation, a few snowflakes, maybe a few sleet pellets, and some plain old rain showers. It's all very, very light. Should not cause any issues on the roadways for your morning drive. So that is good news. But overall, it's just kind of a quiet day of weather for us with lots of clouds that are going to be around throughout the entire day. So as you start to plan things out, you don't need the sunglasses this morning. Just keep that jacket handy. And with the clouds that will be around, temperatures don't move a whole lot. 37 degrees here at 9 a.m., 41 degrees by the noon hour. And then we really don't warm much more after that. But we will talk about that warming trend I mentioned coming up in just a few minutes, Lauren.
And Todd, you mentioned it, that you may run into a few just rain droplets on your commute. And you can see the windshield wipers going here on our live drive vehicle. Right now, our photographer Shay Goodpaster is driving on westbound I-465 near Emerson Avenue. Good morning to you in the Beech Grove area. Traffic here is traveling up to speed. No major crashes to report around the metro area or delays. So that is great news. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads as you're heading out the door this Monday morning, and we will keep you updated. Time now, 6:33, and detectives are working to solve a shooting that left 3 people dead over the weekend. That violence just adding to the growing list of homicides already this year.
A report released by IMPD outlines the progress that police have made in solving these deadly crimes. Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. Alyssa, this report shows we're on track to see more homicides this year than last, so put these numbers in perspective for us.
That's right. Unfortunately, yes. So at this time last year, there were 137 homicides in the Circle City. That report released by IMPD last week outlines 143 homicides so far this year. And that does not include the fatalities from the shootings over this weekend. Now, in that report, IMPD has made arrests in 38 cases in 2019. That puts their criminal homicide arrest rate at just about 30% for the year. 110 of the homicides in 2019 have been committed using firearms. 15 cases this year were cleared as self-defense, and the document does list the motives for the crimes as well. The reasons range from revenge to money, drugs, and robbery, but many of the crimes list the motive as unknown. And police have told us many times in the past that help from the community is vital when it comes to solving these homicides in the city. So if you have any information from the shootings that happened over the weekend, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
The time now is 6:35, and thousands of teachers expected to make demands as lawmakers return tomorrow to set up their legislative agendas for the new year. Indiana public school teachers want to be on that list, on top of that list. They plan to rally at the State House tomorrow morning. The Red for Ed protest is focused on the top 3 issues. They include better pay for teachers, not allowing districts to use iLearn testing results, which have been criticized to evaluate teachers and school grades, and the push to repeal the externship requirement that would force teachers to do work outside the classroom in order to renew their teaching license. We spoke to the president of the statewide teachers union just minutes ago right here on Good Morning Indiana.
We want to make sure that our lawmakers know and understand how important this problem is to us. That the over 1 million students that are in our public schools in Indiana deserve the absolute very best education, and that's what we're working for.
The governor's office says it's seeking to ensure that Indiana attracts and retains top teachers. The office points to the governor's record on that. Governor Holcomb launched a commission this year to make recommendations on teacher pay in next year in 2020. He used $150 million in state reserves to pay off a pension liability that schools fund, which is helping with teacher salaries. And he signed a 2-year budget, which included $763 million in total new money for K through 12 education. Plus, the governor is also opposed to using the results from the new iLearn test to be used to evaluate teachers or determine school grades. RTV6 will bring you live coverage of the Red on Ed rally tomorrow right here on RTV6 and Good Morning Indiana. In fact, I'll be leading our live team coverage throughout the morning.
I'm Kelsey Anderson. A first-of-its-kind program is coming to Indianapolis to help children grieve after losing a loved one. Coming up, I've got all the details.
And a big golden anniversary is coming up for a summertime staple of downtown Indianapolis. We're going to show you the planning already taking place for next year's big event that's underway. It is 6:37 here on your Monday morning. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Geodis as a hiring Hoosiers partner.
New this morning on Good Morning Indiana, the Indiana Donor Network is announcing a new week-long camp for children of donor families.
This is a way to support children as they experience grief for a loss of a loved one who died but then became a donor hero. So our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning at the Jameson camp with more on this new program. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so we're here at the Jameson camp, and this is where this first of its kind program is going to take place this summer in June of 2020. And I'm here with Kelly Hanner. So tell me a little bit more about this program.
Well, we created the program to be able to provide support for children who are going through a grief process from the loss of their loved one who became a donor hero. So we'll be doing this through a pediatric grief intervention.
Okay, and you said earlier that oftentimes kids are the forgotten mourners when they lose a loved one. So tell me a little bit about what you guys have learned through your years of experience with the Donor Network.
Sure. We provide a lot of aftercare support for our family members of, the donor, but what we realized is we really don't do a whole lot for kids, and that for kids are often the forgotten mourner. So we hope to partner with the Jameson camp to be able to do fun activities and have them be around children who have similar stories.
Yeah, and so it will be a mix of fun activities, but then also that therapy and learning how to grieve through the loss.
Right, exactly. And it's a great way for our community to get involved as well. We want to be able to provide the camp, as free or at little cost, for the families. And so if you'd like to make your contribution, you can do so by going to indianadonornetwork.org/angel fun.
Okay, and will you guys need any volunteers for this program coming up in June?
I believe so. I mean, they have camp counselors here, but there's always an opportunity for people to volunteer.
Okay, awesome. Well, for more information on how you can get involved with this camp, you can head over to the RTV6 News app, or the IndyChannel.com. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
At 6:42, it's a big year ahead for Indiana Black Expo. The organization is working on celebrating its 50th anniversary. The community members turned out on Saturday to provide input for the year-long celebration, which begins in January. Among the big changes, the addition of an Expo Fest in June and moving the corporate luncheon to Lucas Oil Stadium from the convention center. Overall, organizers say the events will be focused on youth, heritage, culture, and pride.
It's going to take the entire community, everyone working together to make sure that we're viable for another 50 years, and understanding that our programs and our summer celebrations, Circle City Classic, all of that we funnel back into our young people. So it's important that we as a village take care of our young people and come out and take part in everything that Indiana Black Expo actually presents to the community.
Expo also tells us it's committed to the free concert on the American Legion Mall. Another new event being added, a 50th anniversary gala at the Indiana Convention Center that is set for July.
We got past our first snow of the season already, and the airport says it is ready for the next big one coming up. We'll have an exclusive look at a new tool that will have wintertime flights make those safer landings.
Are you ready to dance yourself into the holiday season? We have a chance for you to win 4 tickets to see a holiday tradition, the Indianapolis Ballet's production of the Nutcracker. That giveaway is just 7 minutes away. Todd?
And Raphael, we're dealing with a little bit of a light wintry mix making its way through the north side of Indianapolis into the Carmel area, Lebanon up towards Frankfort. This is the only area dealing with this wintry mix. However, not expecting any issues on the roadways because of that wintry mix, with temperatures at or above freezing in most locations. Lots of clouds, though, for your morning commute and throughout much of the day. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast.
On select models.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 6:45, and we are monitoring your commute from our live drive vehicle. Our photographer Shay Goodpaster behind the wheel. Here is a dash cam view as he is traveling near I-465 and I-70, heading northbound there over to the west side. You can see traffic here is traveling up to speed and on the ramp system as well. So no problems right now for your morning commute. Great news as you're heading out the door at this hour. Now to a new project that's working to address the problem of young adults living on the streets. 2 community leaders teamed up to buy a rundown home on the east side. It will be renovated and transformed into a shelter called 91 Place. Founder Jenner Schaefer says this will provide young people with more than a roof over their head.
A place like this that is going to provide not only safe housing, but true community and true relationship and, the life skills that they need to become independent adults.
This home is geared towards people between the ages of 18 and 22, especially those from the east side. For more information, or if you'd like to donate to this project, you can go to the RTV6 app and just click on this story.
It looks like Hoosiers really like the odds when it comes to sports betting. The Indiana Gaming Commission says the second month of legal sports betting in Indiana saw nearly $92 million in wagers. That's almost 3 times as much money wagered in September when sports betting became legal. The state also brought in nearly $1 million in tax revenue just last month.
And if you bet on the Colts this week, you made a good wager with Jacoby Brissett back under center. The Colts beat Jacksonville at Lucas Oil Stadium. Final score 33-13. The Colts are now tied with the Texans for the lead in the AFC South. Those two teams will meet Thursday down in Houston.
The plows and people are prepared for a snow fight at the state's largest airport, only on RTV6. We were there. Nearly 100 people make up the operations team, making sure that Indy's runways are clear for takeoffs and arrivals. We were there on site last Tuesday when the team held its annual training session required by federal regulators. Now, the airport has 11 machines known as the MB5. It's a combination plow, broom, and blower. The machines help the team clear a runway in about 30 minutes. The operations team is on call to respond to winter weather between now and March the 31st.
Seems like a long time that we have to go until March 31st.
Yeah, and we are thankful for that team because obviously if you want to get to sunshine or to see grandma or the holidays,
yeah, you want to get out of here, they're the people that do that.
So if you see them, just say, hey, thanks. We want to say thank you to Todd Clausen today because it's not uber cold, but it's okay. Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah, you know, it's chilly, but we're, you know, it should be chilly in the morning. Okay. We don't need those single-digit temperatures that we were dealing with last week, and we're not anywhere close to that, but we do have a little bit of precipitation out there this morning. Here's a live look outside, and you can see kind of that moisture just suspended there in the atmosphere. I don't have that picture-perfect, clear look this morning on the RTV6 Weather Now camera network, and the temperature sits at 35 degrees, and we just have some light winds out of the west-southwest at 7 miles per hour. So as we go over to Storm Team 6 radar, we have been dealing with a little bit of precipitation this morning in the form of a wintry mix. And you see from Frankfurt to Lebanon over towards Sheridan here down into the Carmel area, Noblesville, we're not seeing the precipitation falling from the sky. They have that damp feel out there with the clouds that are in place. So some of you are seeing a little bit of precipitation this morning. It's drifting off towards the north. Everybody else is dry. So it's just one little pocket of this wintry mix. Temperatures yesterday were well above freezing. This morning we're at or above freezing in many locations, so we're not expecting that wintry mix to cause any issues on the roadways, but you may have to throw your windshield wipers on in and around the metro area just briefly here this morning for your commute. The bulk of the precipitation is down to the south, but as you look at the big picture, you notice the overall flow of how things are going. This pinwheel is making its way off towards the east, the spoke, and you kind of think of this as a pinwheel, and here comes the next round that's going to arrive tomorrow. In between, there's a lot of clouds that are in place this morning across the area. So 35 in Indy, 37 in Martinsville, where there's one little pocket of clearer skies, slightly cooler off towards the east, but temperatures will start to come up in all locations. Our featured dog of the day today is Medusa Dew here, sent in by Cassie. She said she loves fetching and playing with those tennis balls, and you'll be able to get outside and enjoy the quiet conditions today. It's just not the brightest day for us with lots of clouds around and temperatures that will be in the 40s. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to temperatures kind of hovering right around the freezing mark, and that will be key because we are expecting some precipitation to come in tomorrow with some spotty showers, but temperatures will climb above freezing pretty quickly tomorrow morning once the sun comes up at 7:30. So that's the key time frame as this band of rain makes its way through. If it comes in a little bit earlier and you get on the roadways, make sure you join us tomorrow morning. We'll keep an eye on temperatures right around the 6-7 o'clock hour. That could be just below freezing, causing maybe some minor issues tomorrow, but most of that should be in the form of just plain old rain showers as it makes its way through the area. Once that goes through, cloudy in the afternoon, mostly sunny on Wednesday. It's the best weather day of the week with a high of 54 degrees. We get back up to 60 degrees on Thursday. Thursday is the best chance of precipitation throughout the week, but with a high of 60, Lauren, it's going to be in the form of all rain.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at your drive on this Monday morning. Windshield wipers going just a little bit here on eastbound I-70 on the west side. You can see traffic, though, is traveling smoothly. Right now, we can tell you around the metro area, no crashes to slow you down, so that is good news. If you are in the holiday spirit already, we do have a giveaway for you. Listen up. This is your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to see Indianapolis Ballet's presentation of The Nutcracker. All you have to do for your chance to win is be the 6th caller and tell us today's word of the day. That is snowflake. Once again, it's snowflake. Here's the phone number to call, 317-269-1459. And good luck. Time right now is 6:52. We'll be right back.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board. It was their first trip ever to Bands of America Grand National Championships here in Indianapolis, and it was a memorable trip for the Vandergrift High School from Austin, Texas. They took first place in marching band's most prestigious competition this weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium. Vandergrift beat out some very tough competition, including the marching black and gold from Avon High School here in Indiana. The Class A Indiana State champions finished second at Grand Nationals. Carmel High was fourth, and Homestead High School from Fort Wayne, they finished in 10th place. Other Central Indiana bands who made it to the semifinals at the Grand Nationals were Fishers, the Marching Pride of Lawrence Township, Ben Davis High School, and Greenfield Central. Congratulations to all those bands on a great marching season. We are proud of all those Hoosier teams.
Way to represent Indiana.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
There you go. If you're looking for a way to spice up Thanksgiving dinner, we have an idea for you.
Yeah, listen to this. Taco Bell, they have this unique idea for your Thanksgiving side dish. Taco Bell wants you to take its tacos, stick them in a blender, and serve them as a bisque this Thanksgiving. Seriously, say, Mom, this is what I'm bringing as my side. There's a recipe for this on Taco Bell's blog at its website. So the first step is to hit up Taco Bell for its rolled chicken taco party pack featuring 6 rolled chicken tacos and 6 crunchy tacos. That's not all. You need a few more ingredients. They include garlic, onion, broth, heavy whipping cream, and of course cilantro to top it off. Taco Bell recommends using a cast iron stock pot to put all of this together, and apparently that's what it looks like.
I'm sticking to the originals, right? I'm sticking to mashed potatoes.
My family would say, okay, just don't bring anything, we'll take care of it.
Some mac and cheese, some turkey, and of course another original, Todd Clausen.
I know not a lot of people are the biggest fan, but I love the green bean casserole. I will eat that.
That's like the most hated dish in
I know, but I love it. So I'll save it for me.
Leftovers at times.
I knew I would be in the minority on that one here. All right, temperatures today will climb up into the low 40s, well below normal. There's a few spotty showers this morning outside, but otherwise just look for lots of clouds today. The best weather day of the week, Wednesday, sunshine and a high of 54.
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thank you for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic.
Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow morning.